Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Hello everyone, this is 22 Tiger Dude. I am here with my guest star, J53518, to review the SpongeBob episode, The Chaperone!
Hell yeah. This is actually the episode of SpongeBob where Pearl comes to the Krusty Krab to her dad, complaining that she has no date for the prom. Apparently, out of weirdness, he tries to get into Brian Flounder and all the other boys, the girls like Judy and, her friends have dated. Billy Fishkin, the hot guy. But you know what? When Mr. Krabs decides to be lazy, he gets her favorite sponge to take her on a date. And shenanigans ensue at her high school prom. I love this episode because it puts SpongeBob in a very unknown position. I mean, we don't know if he ever went to a dance. We could assume he did because he graduated from fish school. I don't know what the hell. But anyway, it's funny because SpongeBob is put into a very funny situation he does not know how to get out of. I mean, and you see Pearl always being judgmental to him, and Mr. Krabs always being on the watch since he is his boss. Makes sense. Boss's daughter. Hello, Ashton Kutcher. Made a joke. Yeah, but the funny thing is that with SpongeBob not having fun, Pearl's having the most fun. So that beats the reason of having a date, right? Why can one person have fun and the other don't? That's wrong, ladies. That's wrong. The comedy is very genuine, very funny jokes. The whole dating scene, it fits well. And I think the chemistry, friendliness between Pearl and SpongeBob is natural. It's not forced at all. And they're have a good, funny chemistry together. I give it a 5 out of 5 sponge stars.
I really enjoyed The Chaperone. I think it's a very well-made episode. Definitely very well written. One of those simple episodes, but it's one of those simple episodes that's very well done. And I like the idea of how we got a little prom episode. Obviously, SpongeBob is older than Pearl, but it's nice to see them kind of play out as if SpongeBob was sort of like a teenager. Like he kind of acts like a teenager, and I did like how they play all that out. And Pearl, we see something rare in her. Like she does come off as a bitch when the episode starts, but when it progresses, we see sweetness in Pearl, and you can kind of care about her, which is rare for the show to happen because most of the time I just downright can't stand that bitch. I'm sorry to sound harsh, but it's true. But yes, and she's still a bitch in this episode, and that's definitely one of my issues. When she starts out being a bitch to SpongeBob for no reason, it's just all like, why you gotta be so downright rude and bitchy? What did SpongeBob ever do to you? I thought it was very funny, especially when it comes to the sponge song playing. Like, do the sponge, you do the sponge. And everyone's getting all injured. I love the song, Do the Sponge. That was definitely very well done. Prom just got chaotic. But yeah, this episode was definitely very well done. I had a lot of fun, and it was kind of a little sweet episode. Like once it ends, you kind of feel warm. Like you're just all like, "Aw, that's heartwarming. That's sweet right there." So yeah, this episode made me feel good by the end of it.
Nice.
Of course, flaws I had with it was, as I mentioned, Pearl was a bitch, and a couple of parts were a little boring for me. I did feel a couple of parts being all like, okay, just kind of pick up the pace a little bit. But other than that, though, I still thought The Chaperone was a very well-made, genuine, sweet, heartwarming episode. So at the end of the day, I'm going to rate this episode an 8 out of 10. Very nice episode indeed. Now, me and J5 are here to review Employee of the Month, requested by Tristan Matthew and Chris Rock 17.
The episode started with SpongeBob and Squidward debating who's the best, and Squidward always being outclassed by SpongeBob. Well, actually, to be honest, yes, SpongeBob is always beaten Squidward in being Employee of the Month since he's stubborn and grumpy, and SpongeBob is always happy and energetic. Now, Squidward had a psychological thought that he and SpongeBob must be in an immense battle to see who becomes Employee of the Month to please Mr. Krabs. and insanity ensues. Who will become the employee of the month? The answer is up to you. I love this episode. It's one of the most infamous episodes of SpongeBob in history. It does the best job of balancing Squidward and SpongeBob personas, how cynical they can get. It's very much like a rat race. Who can win and get the gold? They get very cheesy, very sleazy with each other. You see how SpongeBob can be sneaky. You can see Squidward being angry. I like the comedy. It was very funny. I feel bad for Mr. Krabs because the whole pressure's on him and who the best. And the ending is just phenomenal. It ends in a classic battle of them trying to clean the tables, trying to make Krabby Patties that I don't think no mere God can make. And heck, they're wrecking the Krusty Krab in adoration for Mr. Krabs, for Christ's sake. Poor Krabs. Poor Clancy Brown. He had to deal with this bullshit all the time. But anyway, at the end, they break the employee of the month, and they pop out saying, "Who's the employee of the month, Mr. Krabs?" But he's saying, "Boys, boys, be easy, boys." Everything was done right here. Nothing wrong with how long it was and how mean-spirited it was. That's the whole point. Two people fighting to get the right award. So I give it a 5 out of 5 on the SpongeBob Fun Meter.
Employee of the month. Well, I will just say this. This is definitely a very entertaining episode. Just like Chaperone, just like a lot of SpongeBob episodes. Simple concepts, but very fun and highly entertaining. I like how they played the whole employee of the month, how SpongeBob always gets employee of the month due to the fact that Squidward, let's face it, he's not a very good employee. But Squidward wants to actually prove to SpongeBob for once that he could do just as great of a job or even better of a job than SpongeBob. So I did like how they played all of that out and how SpongeBob and Squidward are getting really competitive. I really enjoy that end. I do have a problem with the episode not being as funny as it could have been. Like with an idea like this, I was hoping to get more laughs out of it. So I felt like the episode could have had a little more humor, and I basically have the same problem that I did with the Chaperone, where I thought a couple of moments did get a little boring for me. They could have picked up the pace a little bit, and the ending kind of feeling rushed and abrupt. But I still really enjoyed the episode. It's nice to see SpongeBob and Squidward clash with each other. It's just very fun to watch on screen. The writing is great. Pacing for the most part is really good. It's well executed. Just very creative storytelling overall. Employee of the Month is a lot of fun to watch. It does what it needs to do. Just entertain the hell out of you for the 11-minute timing. So Employee of the Month, I'll give it the same rating as Chaperone. It also gets an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed this one. It's a really awesome episode. Subscribe to J5351H channel. I will leave a link in the description below.
Thank you guys. This is J5 signing off.
I am 22 Tiger Dude. Don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power!